Hi everyone, welcome back to another video, and today we will be showing you how to make your very own piñata. So first you want to start by sanitizing your hands all the time.
There you do it.
Once you do that, we're going to show you all the supplies you're going to need. So first and foremost, you're going to need some flour. Any type of flour, doesn't matter. You can use 2 to 3 containers depending on how many piñatas you want to use. One container is going to be full of the water with the flour so you can make your paste. And the other 2 are going to be to hold your balloons. You're going to need some newspaper. Make sure to tear it up. You're also going to need the balloons, of course.
That's going to be our piñata.
And I believe that is all. Oh, don't forget some gloves because it does get messy.
And our tissue paper. We're going to need tissue paper to decorate our piñata.
So gloves, make sure you put on your gloves because it does get messy, and if you don't want to be scrubbing your hands and scrubbing, gloves will help a lot. So to get started, you're going to want to blow up your balloon and fill up your bucket with water. Okay guys, now that you've gathered all of your supplies, we are gonna, here's our balloons that are already inflated. We have our gloves on.
I'm getting there.
Okay, we have our bucket with water, and you don't need that much water. We'll show you a picture right now of how much water we put in. And we're also going to be using these little cups to pour our flour in. Now you don't have to, you can just pour it in blindly, or you can use a regular cup. Totally up to you. So we're going to go ahead and get that started. We have all of our newspaper cut up. So let's go ahead and put our flour in. And we forgot to mention, you will also need something to mix it with.
You can use a spoon, whatever you want, a spatula, popsicle sticks. You can use whatever you want.
So you're going to go ahead and mix. And it should form a paste. It shouldn't be too hard or too dry. It should be kind of liquidy. We'll also show you guys a picture of how it's supposed to look like. Okay, so ours needed a little bit more, so here's number 3. So try to dissolve that as much as you can. Okay, still wasn't enough, so we're gonna add another one. Here's number 4. Okay, that still wasn't enough, so let's go on to number 6. Number 5 or 6. I already lost count. Okay, it looks like we got it ready. So we're gonna go ahead and move the flour out of the way. And if at any point you think you need more water or more flour, you can just go ahead and add that in. So when you finish mixing, go ahead and grab your balloon and any container that you have. If you don't have a container, that's totally fine. I recommend you use a big piece of newspaper or regular paper, whatever you have. That way you don't get your table or wherever you're at dirty. If you still don't have that, I recommend you do it outside.
We're ready to start.
Okay, so now that the paste is ready, you're going to go ahead and grab a piece of the newspaper and you're going to dip it in the paste. You want to make sure it's all covered, everything. So we're going to go ahead and dip it, dip. It should be all covered.
And make sure this point is facing down. We won't be covering this part. Just everything else around.
Okay, once it's soaking wet, you want to get your balloon close. And you're going to go ahead and plaster it on. And then just smooth it out a little bit. And you're going to continue doing this process until the balloon is fully covered. Okay guys, we think that we're finished, so we're gonna go ahead and let this dry for a little bit. So right now, go ahead and pause the video, go grab yourself a yummy snack or lunch or dinner, breakfast, whatever time you're doing this. Go ahead and go grab something to eat. We're gonna leave it in our bins and we're gonna turn the fan on. So if you have a fan that you can put on to dry up your piñata faster, that's great. So make sure before you do that, make sure that your whole thing is covered. Everything. That way your second layer doesn't have to be that much. Okay? Go ahead and pause the video now. Go wash your hands and we'll see you in a little bit. Hi guys, welcome back. I hope you had an amazing snack. I know I had a delicious lunch. So we're gonna go ahead and get started with the second layer.
So make sure you still have enough paper cut up, okay?
So you're going to do the same thing, just go ahead and cover your balloon again. But if you do feel that your balloon is still wet and not really dry, then just wait a few more minutes until it dries up. You can also leave it outside in the sun. That'll help it dry up faster too. Okay guys, the second layer of the piñata is complete. So right now we're gonna go ahead and start cleaning up. So go ahead and set your piñatas aside and let them dry. You can also go ahead and clear your table. Give your bucket with the liquid to your parents so they can wash it out. And we're gonna get started with the decoration part of the piñata. So we will be using tissue paper. Now, if you don't have any tissue paper at home, that's okay. You can use paint if you have paint to paint it. Markers will work also. You can color it. If you have regular paper at home, you can go ahead and color that, cut it out, make some shapes, and just paste them on your piñata. So, if you have tissue paper, we will be showing you how to make a really fun decoration for your piñata. Okay, you can take over.
Okay, we're gonna go ahead and begin. You can use whatever colors you want. Right now I have green and yellow. So what we'll be doing, we're gonna fold them in parallel lines.
So I'm using pink and white.
Just like this. You'll be needing scissors for this part of the press. So then what we'll be doing is cutting little lines down the line. As is. Just like this, as you can see, little lines. You can do it all the way down, and then you can cut that piece off and do it again. Fold it and keep cutting. It's gonna kind of look like, I guess you can say confetti or something like that. And the strip, when it's completely done like that, we'll show you the next step.
Okay guys, throughout these next few seconds, all we're going to be doing is cutting up the tissue paper in what looks like kind of a skirt thing to put around our piñata. So right now we're just cutting and cutting, making as much as we can. That way we're sure to cover the whole piñata. Enjoy! Okay guys, after you finish cutting out your decorations or whatever you're planning on doing. If you are planning on painting, just go ahead and stop right here. Do not put the paint in anything because we're gonna come back to this tomorrow once our piñatas are dried. So just put all your decorations to the side, whatever you're gonna use, put it off to the side. Go ahead and help your parents clean up your area. And we'll see you guys tomorrow to finish and decorate our piñatas. Hi everyone, welcome back. So by now, your piñata should have dried. So you should feel it really hard. And when you tap it, it should feel kind of like glass, but not really glass. So the next part is gonna be us decorating it and popping the balloon. So to decorate it, we have, and you guys should too, have whatever you're using for decoration. You should have it. And we're going to be using glue. But if by any chance you finish this in maybe a day and you still have the paste left over, you can use that too to put whatever you're using on it. So we're going to use a little container. This little container, and we're going to put some glue in it, and we're just going to dip our fingers in it, and we're going to just
start pasting it over.
Yes.
It goes like this. Like that. Like a skirt. Just like a skirt.
So let's get started. We're going to pour the glue into the container. And again, to not be having to scrub your hands all the time, you might want to get some gloves. That way, you don't get anything in your nails, you don't get anything on your fingers. It's just, and you don't need one, you can just use it on one hand. Very simple. Okay, so now we're gonna show you guys how, if you're using the tissue paper, how you can put it on your piñata.
So we'll get our very first layer. Make sure the little ruffles are facing down towards like this. So what we're gonna do is get a little bit of glue. You dip your finger in there, just like that. And we're gonna start making a line. Just like that. We'll get our paper. And you just layered it right there. Just like that. And we're going to do that all around. And there's no right or wrong on this. You can do it however you want. As long as it's going completely around, covers up the newspaper, it's going to be perfectly fine.
Okay guys, while Elizabeth continues to use the tissue paper for her piñata, I'm going to be showing you how you can use paint to paint your piñata. So I put the paint in a container and I have my glove on. I'll be using my finger, but feel free to use a paintbrush if you have one. So I'm just going to paint. I'm going to draw a heart first. Super simple. Just with my finger. And you can use any color that you want and it'll work. You can draw on it if you want. You can first paint the whole thing a certain color and then just draw. That way you don't see the newspaper as much. So, as you can see, I did a heart. And that's how you can use the paint. Now, You can also use markers to color and to draw on it. So I'll be using a purple marker. And I will be drawing a star. It's very simple. This is your piñata, so you can decorate it however you want. So right now I'm just coloring the star. Really cute. Now using markers or paint might take longer than using the tissue paper, but that's okay. The piñata is a process and it'll be done in no time. So as you can see, I drew a star. Very cute. So these are 3 different ways: the tissue paper, the paint, and the marker. So you can do whatever you want and just keep on decorating until you're happy with how it came out. Okay guys, we finished decorating our piñata, so we're gonna show it off.
This one's fine. Not perfect, but I mean the whole point here is to have fun, to decorate however you like.
Yes.
You your own style.
Super cute. So now we will be popping the balloons.
So
Now
we're using scissors.
you might want to get help from your parents. If you don't have scissors, you might want to ask them if they can use something else, something sharp to pop the balloon for you. Now you don't want to handle anything on your own, so make sure that your parent is there to help you. So we're going to go ahead and pop it.
All you have to do is just a little snip, a little hole.
And you're going to let the air go out. And then the balloon is going to unstick itself, so don't worry. Now let's try to get as much as the air out before trying to take it out. So here's my balloon that I already took out. So you can just go ahead and throw this away. You're not going to be needing it anymore. Now, if you have any leftover paper or confetti or whatever, you can go ahead and stick it in the balloon or in your piñata now because there's no more balloon. So you have an open space where you can put anything in there. So we have some candy that we will be putting in our piñatas. So we're gonna go ahead and put the candy in the piñata and it'll be good to go. So now you can put whatever you want in your own piñata. So we're gonna put some candy, and once we finish, you can either tie it up, put some newspaper or some tape to cover it up, or what you can also do is, if you know how to hole punch, you can hole punch it on 2 sides, stick a string, and hang it. Super cute. So we're gonna add some candy. Now after we do that, your piñata is good to go. You can go ahead and break it with your family and friends, or you can just hang it and keep it to yourself. Thank you guys so much for joining us. This is how to create your own piñata with the Mayor Joey Sanders Public Library children's staff.
Thank you for joining us.
Bye.